Okay, 02 concepts, rotation. You can do a rotation with the bounding box. When you select an object and you put the cursor outside any handle, that puts it into rotation mode, and you can rotate by eye. You can also rotate with the rotation tool. Click here and just drag around, and you can do that by eye. But you can also use, in this case with the rotation tool, if I press my shift key, I can use a constraint. It constrains at 45-degree angles, so it gives me a little bit more control. If I want to have a lot of control and rotate it an exact amount, then the best strategy is to double click the rotation tool. You'll get a dialog box. I'm going to rotate this 15 degrees exactly and say OK. I can also put a copy behind, leave a copy behind, and rotate 15 degrees. Up here in the menu, Object, Transform, Transform Again, if I click that, it will do the same transformation. And you may have noticed that the shortcut is here, Control D. So if I press the Control key and then D, 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 I can continue that sequence and make an entire shape here. I'm going to turn my outline off, and you can see I've made sort of a floral looking shape. Now you can change the pivot point of an object. So here's an object here. I go into the rotation menu here. I can move, whoops, I missed it. I can move this over here and rotate this by eye. I'm going to use my Alt key to leave a copy behind, and Control D all the way around that. And that's a little bit of a different look to it there. On the info palette, you can find the info palette if it's not already on here in Window. So I'll turn that on. There it is. And it can give you a little bit of information about the amount of rotation that you put on an object. Now that's not 90, it only shows the last amount of rotation that you did. Okay, changing the stacking order, that's number 8. If I have some objects and I want to change the order, I want to put that pink one at the bottom of the order, I can right click on it, click Arrange, and send it to the back. You can see now the green is on top. I'll select the pink again, and you can also go through the menu right here, Object, and Arrange, and I'll send that pink back to the front. The rulers, it can be very handy to show your rulers, so you can go through the View menu, Show Rulers right there. You can also hit the Control key and R. That will toggle them off. Hit it again, it comes on. So you can use the Control R or the menu. You can drag guides out from the ruler. As you can see, I can drag a little guide out there just to help me get something lined up here, and it's blue there. And I can go into the View menu with those guidelines, and I can work in here, guides. I can hide them or I can clear them like that. It's gone. If the rulers aren't showing inches and you want to work in inches, you can change the units here with right click on the ruler and just set the unit that you're interested in. I've changed it to inches there. And Smart Guides. In your View menu, you can turn on some smart guides, and if you're smart, you'll turn them on because they're very useful as you get into advanced features. It shows you the center of objects, it shows you intersection points, it shows you paths, it shows you, let me just make a rectangle here, and there's 4 anchor points there. As I run along the perimeter, you can see it's telling me that's a path. Now it's found an anchor point. In CorelDRAW, that's called a node. In Illustrator, they call it an anchor point. Again, there's the center, there's a 45-degree line. If I want to start drawing another rectangle and I want it to be on that center, but up here, that is exactly, I can pull out a guide here on the vertical ruler just to show you. This is lined up right on that center point this way.